Hey YouTube. You know, one of the things about doing body work is that, like I said before, you're trying to make the work look like original, like what it looked like before either the damage or the repair was made. So if you notice on a Jeep here, wherever the seams of the body panels are, you can see the seam. They have made no attempt to hide those seams. And on this panel here, you got that long panel coming back to a curved panel, this one here, and I want you to see this line that's in here, this seam. Okay, I don't know if you can see that from back here because I just put some paint on it so it'd be a little bit easier to see. But anyway, I'm going to show you how you put that seam in there when you're not putting two body panels together. In other words, I don't have two new panels that I'm putting together, so therefore when I work with this body putty, I've got to do something with it that I can use to put a panel in place, or put a groove in there. I'm sorry, just trying to think of all the stuff I need to make this video. So anyway, what I do is I'll take a straight edge and I'll line it up perfectly, and I'll put a pencil mark down through there, which I've already done. Now you can see the pencil line from here down, but above there you see that groove. Forget about how the body putty looks. That's easy enough to smooth off. I'm concerning myself with this groove. What I'm doing here is I have the pencil line, and I have these jeweler's files. This is a 3-sided file. This is a 4-sided file. They're very small. So what you do here is you put the 3-sided file. You'd start actually up by the top. You'd start up in here, because you can run off the edge there and you can find where that center line is. So, sorry about that. So once you start that, let me just get this thing. Once you start that, all you do is try and take the pencil line off. So I'm running this back and forth, and it's taking a small amount of body putty off, and I'm running it right down that line that I have here. I'm hoping you can see that pencil line there, yeah. So I'm putting the tip of the file is in the leading line, and I'm watching the file down in here where it's resting. I want it to go right onto the pencil mark so that it's straight, and this way here you can see there's a little bit of filler coming out of there. This way here I'll end up with a nice straight, what looks like a body seam that's exposed. And a lot of times, whether these people are going to sell this or not, having someone look at a car if it's for sale, and they know what the car should look like, the body seams, if they're covered over partially with body putty, like say, in a little area here and then there's none up there, or if you can see the seam up here, which you can on the Jeep, and you don't see any seam until you get to the bottom of the seam, then you know that there is something wrong here, and that the guy who done it really didn't take his time to fix it. So what I'm doing here is I'm taking my time and I'm showing you how I go about repairing and replacing these seams so that I get a nice straight seam. And the only time you would do this is because I don't have new panels on here. I'm using body putty to make the panel appear to be like it's new or in good shape. Now it's not that it's not in good shape, it's that the panel, I lost the seam by putting the body putty on. And when you if you try to not put putty into the seam, you're only deceiving yourself, because there's no way you can work around that seam. I mean, you could put tape on it and stuff, but the point is you're raising it up. You're raising the seam up. And once you raise it up, you've lost the ability to keep the seam looking the same. And the further you, well, I didn't want to do that, but the further you, the more seam you lose, the harder it is to get that seam to show later. So anyway, this is how, and you can see the top there, how good that seam actually looks. Now when I sand this, I'm going to just sand right over this as if it was a seam. Okay, and I didn't finish this. You saw me just broke one of my files. I have a bunch of them. But that's how you want to get that seam. All you want is a shadow to show. This reminds me of artwork where, you know, you can put lead from a pencil on a flat piece of paper, yet if depending upon how you shadow it, it'll look three-dimensional. And it's a deception, and that's what you're looking for here. It's not a bad deception. It's not like we're trying to cheat anybody. What we're trying to do is show that we've taken the time to do this the best right way, and, you know, bring it back to original that we can with what we have to work with. That's what we're doing. So just to give you an idea of what this will look like when it's all finished. I don't know if I showed you the other side with the beginning of the video. I forgot already. But looking at it from this angle here, I think you might be able to see that seam. You can see it there running all the way down. And the good thing about it is it starts right where, if you look inside there, I don't know if you can see it, you can see the seam that's in the metal. And it also ends at the place where there's a little bit of a difference in the two body parts. Now those were that's the original seam right there. So that makes, and it's actually a neater, nicer seam than you see on the rest of the Jeep. Now I could make that bigger by using a different size file, but I just wanted to show you how something like that is done. So that's the start of it, and all I'm going to do is put my big orbital sander on here and just go right around this. I'll just go right around it, and it'll make it every bit as nice as what this side is. And that's with 80 grit sandpaper. And this has to be ground down to at least to 180 and then primered. And then the primer can be sanded once the owner decides what color they're going to paint this thing. I'm guessing green or whatever, but yeah. So anyway, I know you can't see the smoothness of the panel, but believe me, that panel's come pretty nice. A little extra body putty you put right there just to help fill it in. But the panel feels good. Even you can't feel a thing when you run your hands over this. Nothing. It feels perfectly flat. And you know, like I showed you with the thing that's with the orbital sander, that's how you do that. But I thought you might just like to see how a person would cut a seam, the appearance of a seam into bodywork. Okay? All you want to do is file the pencil mark away. Alright guys, that's it. Thank you. Bye.